Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, HTG Brian, and I'm back, this time with the March 2025 Game Break. Thanks to all who have been hanging and chilling in the chat. We've had some great conversations going back and forth, which led me to being even hungrier than I was when I started. Some of you probably saw that I typed, I ate a caprese pasta salad earlier, which was a pretty good size. It really gave me a very terrible stomach vibe. I've been sort of nauseous and burping it up, and I was actually really worried as we were getting closer and closer to game break start that I was going to be sitting here just burping it up and being all sad. But so far so good. I'm feeling pretty all right. So welcome to our leprechaun den. We're chilling. I don't know if we'll see the leprechaun, but the leprenom, as we've been calling him this month. But he may make an appearance. I'd watch out behind that hat. You never know. You never know. In all fairness, I actually really considered making like a little animated Nom face popping up, you know, but I didn't. I spared him because, he's already leaving the country to get away from me for, get-togethers and stuff. So I figured I didn't want to push it any further. See a couple other people showing up. What up, Phantom? What up, Alpha? What up, Rob? Good to see you. Farmer's back. Yo. Captain Caveman. And Brian D is back. Good to see you again, Brian. That's awesome that you're able to join us again. All right, so all fun and games aside, let's get right to the business. We got this fun new welcome back animation that's going to bounce around for a little bit as we talk about YouTube stats. This is just a quick reminder that this is not a flex or anything of bragging-worthy rights. This is literally me showing the fruits of your labor and watch time and me being grateful for it because these numbers continue to be really worthy. Even though they're not like big YouTube numbers, they are really big to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. And that being said, take a quick peek at last month here. We got about 776,000 views and roughly 40,000 hours of watch time, and we netted a cool 1,200 subs. Now this month it actually changed a little bit. We still had some pretty decent numbers, but we dropped a little bit as far as the subs go, and overall the views dropped about 70,000. But that's going to fluctuate. Lego sales and deals are going to really help or hurt the momentum of the channel. Also, it's was spring break for a minute, so we'll probably see a peak in the next months, because that last week probably brought us up because it was looking pretty grim for a minute. But, summertime's coming soon too, so those numbers will, peak and valley as the different times become available for people. Because obviously in summer, parents often and children, of course, have way more time to watch. So I don't have a huge children base, I don't think, but there's definitely kids that play Lego games and such that find me for help. So all of that being said, thank you so much, guys, for continuing to watch and support the channel. I know that a lot of the times people show up and there's only 17 people in here. Well, yeah, unfortunately everyone else is busy right now. So we don't take it personal. We actually are grateful for the community we have built. And most of you know that because you hang out on a lot of occasions. Now, fun fact too, I was talking with some of the chat before. I've been playing PGA Tour on Monday, and it's been great. I've actually been really good. Now, as a lifelong real life golfer and somebody who owns a golfer, anyways, I actually felt like I had a good chance of being decent at it, but I hadn't played a real golf game, like not a simulator, in a long time. I was told by a friend of mine, Gray, that we should actually check it out on easy, and I did, and I've been really good, like disgustingly good at it. And then today after stream I played one of the ranked tour events, and I found out how terribly bad at the game I really am. I had never 4 or 5 putted that much. Well, okay, yes, in real life I definitely have 4 or 5 putted like that. It was crazy how difficult the thing was. Now, one factor I wasn't aware of is that there's a tempo monitor. So there's no tempo on easy. So the flick of the stick, Nom, easy. I see you're out there. Don't be taking that wrong or taking it further than it needs to. But yes, there's a whole bunch of factors. The wind was a factor too. So I managed to struggle through, and I was terrible. If you have the game, please don't look up my name for today's ranked tour event. It was really bad. I want to say I had to play all 18 holes. The first couple holes were really bad, and I think I finished at like plus 19 for the whole game. So yeah, I'm usually like minus 19, minus 25, minus 45, depending on how many days the tournament is. but yeah, big time difference playing on the higher difficulties. All right, enough of that. So thank you so much, guys, for the support on the YouTubes. It's been a delight, and I hope to continue on as well. There's some talk of some stuff coming up. I'll get to that in a minute. I wanted to quickly go over Drex stuff. A lot of people ask often, how's he doing and everything. For those of you who don't know, he had surgery on his right rear leg. It has actually been 8 weeks since the surgery took place as of tomorrow. And we go on Wednesday for the 8-week checkup. Pretty excited, a little nervous, but we'll get a new x-ray and the doctor will examine him and we get to find out if Drex will be free of the leash. Now that's only in our backyard, but we have not been able to let him out on his own. And so he hasn't been able to have any Zoom sessions or do anything crazy or fun. He's been leashed the entire time. So 8 weeks, it's been extra challenging for us too, as normally, the wife and I can leave for the whole afternoon and the mother-in-law can let Drex out or something. It doesn't completely rule that out with this extra stuff, but the walks and, I don't expect her to go on a walk and pick up the poop and all that stuff just because we want to go and have a taco with Nam or something. Oh, that's right. He doesn't do that anymore. He goes out of country. Anyways, Matt would say hi, but he's sleeping. Well, that's good. He needs to rest up after his surgery. Again, I hope everything is good there and hope it's a quick recovery and we'll get to see him in the chat for some more Preston Bros Uniting. So yeah, real quick, I just want to, these are old photos. These are old photos, but here's Drex running on his tripod. This was back in December-ish, late December, early January. He was not able to use that right leg. So a couple of graphic photos. Most of you have seen these before if you were around last month, or actually I think it was the month before, but regardless, these have been recycled, but just showing off what had happened. So here's the x-ray. You can see he's got on the right side, it's easier to see the side angle that has 6 screws in his leg. And that is to keep him from needing a ligament that he tore. So essentially, we didn't fix the problem naturally, or as it hasn't been replaced or healed in that form. It's actually been completely diverted to some other form of usage. So the knee itself has been ground down. And it's actually the lower bone. I'm not a doctor, so I'm probably saying a lot of this stuff wrong. But the lower knee bone got ground down so the upper knee bone could sit properly on it at a different angle, and then the screws and the plate keep it all together. If my wife was up here, she would explain this a heck of a lot better. But yeah, that's kind of that. So the next one is a little tough on the eyes. So if you're weak in the stomach, now would be the time to look away. I won't keep it up long, but essentially this is what it looked like a day after the surgery. Boom. Pretty gnarls Barkley. But things have been going along. He wants you to know that he's doing great. This is one of his famous things he does. He likes to lay right at your feet. And if he's interested in you petting him or even maybe some belly rubs, he'll look up over his shoulder at you. And he kind of he looks up like, hey, you see me down here? I'm down here. So this was him. He wanted to say hi. And we also have given him the couch space back. So he's officially able to sleep in his preferred sleep environment. He has a bed, but every single night, and this drives me crazy because almost every night he does it right when we are eating. And of course, the blanket has fur and dust and crumbs on it, and he rips it around, and it's back there. I don't know if you guys can really see it. You can kind of see the corner of it over there, but he has a bed, and then on the bed is a nice comforter blanket. But he rips that blanket off of the bed and puts it closer to Jillian so he can lay closer to Jillian. Half the time he moves the bed, spends 10-15 minutes fluffing it up, and then he'll go sit on the floor over at the top of the stairs. Not even on the fluffed up part or the bed. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's his routine. He's very routine based. And so all in all, Drex report is going well. We'll have an official report on Wednesday. So essentially, I'll probably post a photo or two if there's anything new to show or share in the Discord. But if not, it'll make the April game break, as it will be part of the April stuff. So, yeah, let's see here. Next up, some super boring stuff, but was actually really exciting for me. but not a lot happened this month. Out of the few things that did happen were my car actually finally got into the shop for some go fast part upgrades. Trying to catch that nom, trying to go fast. Essentially, the first thing that came in was actually the transfer of my Inadub plates. Those were something that I had on my GTI. I got them right for the show last 3 years ago when I showed the GTI and actually won. Once I bought the Golf, I transferred it over, but it took way too long. They had like a 30-day rule. The dealership didn't submit it within 30 days, and then there was a delay because of something else and a bunch of stuff. And wait a minute, do I see Ninja Smoke out there? I'm just now seeing it. Thought I smelled something. And so that's the first thing. I got to add my Inadub plate. I'm officially rocking my custom plate. Oh my gosh, I just totally lost my Stream Deck. It like electrocuted itself for some reason. All right. And next up, we got some new wheels put on. These wheels I actually purchased quite a long time ago. I had them for 9 months before I bought the car. They were the wheels I knew I wanted. There was a seller on the marketplace. At the time, the wheels were extremely rare, and there was a pretty sweet deal being offered. So I lowballed the sweet deal. He accepted, and I felt like I made out like a bandit. Now these wheels are legit the same exact price I paid for every corner you look at. People can't get rid of them because they ended up putting them on. This doesn't make sense. Those are Golf R wheels, but they put them on the 380 GTI, which is not a Golf R. It's a Golf GTI. So all of the GTI owners that buy the 380 in the last year get these same wheels that have an R branding on them. They hate it as GTI. That's why they're so available now, because they're like, I don't drive an R. I don't want R wheels on my car. I do drive an R, and I actually love the wheels. So big shout out to my friend Angie, who actually owns and runs the OK Tires here in Salem. She took great care of my nice new car and made it look all nice and sweet. So we took a quick photo shoot out front with the sign to kind of give it that nostalgic feeling with the new school love, right? So feeling good about that. Also, finally got in for a new intake and turbo inlet. These are the things that make the car go faster. Basically makes it breathe and sound different. My car has like really cool turbo noises now that it kind of had before, but it really has now. So anytime I'm giving it gas, it has this cool like it builds boost. It sounds amazing. I absolutely love it. For those of you who are not car people that don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you a little side by side. You can see the difference. Up top, there's the stock box. On the right and down low is the new box, and it actually goes all the way across the front. So if you notice, all those stickers, the yellow and black and gray stickers, are all missing because that whole front piece gets replaced, which is why I was so disappointed that when I got this done that he wasn't able to do my intercooler as well, because the intercooler actually has to that stuff has to come off to get to it. Now really it's only about an extra 5 minutes worth of work, so it's not a big deal, but I was trying to get it all done at once. Now, next up, I also ordered what I thought was a full black badge for my R here. But if you look carefully, you can see it actually was just the face. So joke was on me. I figured I paid money for it. I might as well put it on. So I've got like a chrome logo with a black front side to it there. And ultimately, it's hard. Like, depending on where you're standing, like, before I put it on, like if you had like a dark shirt on or something, it would reflect that. So part of me can't even tell that it's on there. It is all about the angle. It's a funny angle. Next up, I got the final, not the final piece, but I got the vinyl piece. Haha, how about that? To go ahead and cover up my reflector. So that black covering actually allows some of the reflection to go through, so it is still visible, making it still legal, but also darkens it up to kind of give it the full dark look. Now, on that note, let's go ahead and see what I'm talking about. You can see there's a lot of dark spots, and that orange stuck out like a sore thumb, so I'm glad to have that all gone. And again, I know I'm probably boring y'all to sleep, but I also got, so you can see the top one there and the bottom one have a black out of the reverse. Those right there came off instantly, partially because they didn't line up right. They were a little short, so you either had to like snug them up on the right side and they were short on the left, or short them up on the left and they were, so anyway. All is good in the hood, and May 8th, my car goes in for some more stuff. So you'll probably get no car updates next month. Although there is a potential track day, so I might actually get to take my car to the track for the first time. I'm hoping I can get, some other people there too. Nam comes to mind because he has a fast car. I've got a friend that's been building a car for a long time that I'm very hopeful will be finished this summer, but it's just been one thing after another. And he got it together like a summer ago, or maybe it was 2 summers ago. But then he found out the whole thing was just rusted and he was going to give up on it. And now he's built it back and fixed all the rust. And it's just, I don't know, but he's probably got $50,000 into a car he paid $25,000 for. So, and the car is probably worth about what he paid for it now, maybe a little bit more. If he were to try and sell it, but it's such a unique, different car now. And I'm really excited for him. And I'm really excited to get back on the road and do some stuff. But that guy's actually flying out to North Carolina next week for what they call Wookiees in the Woods. It's a big Volkswagen event for the R32, the kind of car he has. And there's like 5,000, 6,000 people that show up for this event over 2 days. And there's a stretch of road in North Carolina that they go into, and it's all woodsy, and the road is amazing. And the reason why they call it Wookiees is because the R32 has sort of an engine sound that sounds like, like it sounds kind of like a Wookiee, like, and so when they get going, and anyways, that's not a perfect, but it's pretty good. And they're in the woods, so Wookiees in the Woods. And like, he is not driving his car there; he's flying there and renting a different type of R, and he'll be driving. But maybe next year, we talked about maybe driving out there for it. So like me driving my car and him driving his car all the way out there. It'd be a long, crazy, but we'd make others. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about the miles on the car, but I'm also like excited for like memories and road trips. And I'd have a pretty good car for it because it's so new with low miles. You'd think it'd be reliable and get me there. Plus, it'd be fun to drive across the country. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But all right, so this next one, I want to. There's a little disclaimer here. I hate clickbait. You guys know that. I hate it. I hate misdirection, right? Which is another form of clickbait. I don't like rumors that are unconfirmed. But I've had this brought up to me a few times. I've had a couple of messages be sent to me. And I figured I would at least talk about it here where there was no other advertisement. And I could go ahead and basically state that I'm 50-50 on whether I think this is real or not. Okay? That is, a couple days ago, there was some sort of a data farmer found some sort of a representation of, man, my pinky toe is locked up on me. Holy cow. I gotta stand up. I wish you could see it. It's like totally 100% full pinch. Like I'm getting a crazy toe cramp right now. That was crazy. It's still happening, but not as bad. That was like wild. Like one of my toes just went and it locked up. My stupid Crocs. I went on a walk earlier, probably dehydrated. But anyways, here we go. This was found as a game rating on what I believe to be a Korean like sales like site, like not like a GameStop, but something like that. And this rating popped up and you can see it's called Lego Party. We've seen this happen before, right? Like there's been other Lego announcements that turned out to be completely not true, like Lego 2K Goal. That was a thing that everybody believed. I don't know if it really was a thing and it just never made it, or if it's still in production, or if it was just complete hoax. It is the week of April Fools. I'd like to point that out too. However, this released a couple days ago, so it doesn't quite line up with that. Now, one of the things I want to point out is I don't understand what's being said and these little icons down below, but there's some pretty wacky looking stuff. Like there's a syringe with like, I don't know, like Are those handcuffs to the right of the syringe, or am I just like totally in my own world with that? And like, there's some lightning, there's some chat, there's running fast, or I don't know. Is that cooperative play maybe? And then there's like what looks to be like a his and a her symbol, like a male and a female symbol. So I don't know if like is that like customized. So anyways, I don't know if any of this is true or not, but I wanted to at least acknowledge that this is happening right now. It sounds like it could be a Lego Mario Party kind of a thing. Really don't know. Again, I don't know if it's even real. What's up, Rice the Man? I'm ready for some new Lego stuff. I don't necessarily want Lego mobile games, which that very well could be. Could be another Apple game that goes to Apple Arcade. There's a couple, 3 or 4 Lego games. In fact, Brawls was there before it made it to PlayStation. So, I mean, some of those games actually make it out of Apple Arcade and get to exist in other places too. But I don't really know what to think about that. Like, that would be really fun to play with you guys. Like as a Tuesday game or whatever, we play cooperative games. It would be really fun to play a Lego Mario Party style game. It would be. I mean, it'd be pretty fun to play a Mario Party style game too, but there's like some hoops to jump through with that. Cause like for one, Switch doesn't have an easy friend system and the chat is non-existent there, so we'd all have to have Discord and a way to make that happen too while we're playing on the Switch. So again, doable probably, but not everybody has a Switch. Not everybody has access to all the tools that would be needed. I'm sure I could make it work at some point, but ultimately, it's hard to say. I see Denise mentions an ad. I got an ad update from YouTube I was talking about this morning. They are changing some stuff, and it's completely out of my control. Let's see if I can read what it said. I don't remember which email it went to. I don't see it, but basically it said mid-roll ads are gonna, it sounds like they're basically using more AI in order to discover the more organic places to place ads. A lot of people have complained that the ads are happening at really interrupting points, and this is supposed to smooth that out or make it better. I don't really know if it will or not, but I'm hoping it will improve the experience. As you guys know, the ads are what like the majority of my revenue comes from, and so I don't want to see them go away, but I've always tried to minimize them as much as possible. Even the format for our videos has tried to minimize the necessity to watch ads. Like we talked about this the other day, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, but the whole concept of trying to get all the collectibles in free play only, so that you guys don't have to watch the story unless you so choose to. And this way, it would actually benefit the content creator to have split collectibles in, kind of hopefully getting you to watch both videos. But I feel like as a viewer, I would want to watch one, not two. So if I can make that happen, that's how I've always done it. And I think a lot of you guys appreciate that. I mean, I always get, for every one comment, I get the, oh, your voice is terrible, or you should have done it this way, or why are you taking so long, or why did you speed it up, or why didn't you speed it up, or whatever, every negative comment, I get 15 or 20 positive ones. And so, I mean, I feel like that effort was worth it. I feel like, although I could probably have, I don't want to say twice the revenue, but a larger chunk due to splitting. I've never done it that way. So if we can get an improved ad experience for you guys, and it still works for me financially, that's like two peas in a pod, the best of the best, right? So hopefully it'll work out that way. Switch gamers don't play games with friends. That's funny you say that. I don't know that a lot people do, but that was one of their big advertisements in the beginning, was like being able to be at the park and playing, like with your friends there or with your friend that's at home who couldn't make it to the park. And you got, so like, but the friend system was always weird on I don't think, did the Wii have one? I don't think the Wii had one, but I remember the Switch being like really weird, like friend codes. And like you have to have, but there's like still no chat. I mean, I get it. It's pretty dominantly intended for younger audiences, and that pretty much rules out any shenanigans, right? So I totally get that. But all right, real quick updates on the projects. So first of all, we got Funko Fusion that's still on hiatus. Why haven't I gone ahead? Well, historically, our guides are pretty complete and they don't bounce around. I've also had issues with numbers not matching up, like with the viewers versus so essentially, if I were to jump ahead, I would be missing crowns, missing stuff that should be there, and the viewer is likely going through and so trying to avoid like miscounts of collectibles, and also just trying to make sure that it's as complete as possible without taking extra time. So right now there's an issue. It's been going on since December. And they know about it. I've literally talked to the main person at 1010 Games, and I'm not making this up. I've talked to Arthur Parsons about this. I felt terrible because like that was kind of my introductory. Like, hey, I love your work. Been a fan for a long time. Been making guides for your video games for a long time. And by the way, your game's currently broken. I've been stuck on it since December, and I'm not sure why I got this accent now, but I was really worried. I was like totally like nervous, and he was actually very grateful for all the explanations. I provided videos of exactly what I was talking about in comparison to other things and other levels, and he actually said, we could do this and this and this, and he goes, but we're gonna change it and we're gonna do this. And I was like, no way. So like they're literally making a change based on my suggestion and evidence that I provided. And that feels pretty good. However, it's just taking a long time to get that fixed and then push through quality assurance and then making it to us, the gamers. So as soon as that happens, I will continue that series, but I don't know if it's ever going to. And I know a lot of people have either already finished it or haven't picked it up yet. So right now I don't feel a lot of pressure. I do once a week get asked, are you ever going to finish Funko Fusion? And I'm like, yes, I am, but I just don't know when. And I apologize for that, but hopefully it'll happen sooner than later. Now, next up, the other game that just kind of got put on pause and never got finished was Lego Horizon Adventures. This game is more or less play it and platinum it. But after doing some scouting on a secondary account, I found out that there is actually a little bit of help that we can provide. Now, as you guys remember, HTG Doug sort of pulled out of retirement, started doing some stuff. Multiple games happened at once all of a sudden, and then real life stuff kicked up, and I'm sure it was extremely overwhelming for him and a lot of pressure. Even though I was trying to create a no pressure environment, there was still like, hey, are we ever going to get this done? So also me asking a lot of questions, as I tend to do when a guide is being written or I'm using a guide written by somebody that's been specifically for me. And so I've been kind of waiting, hopeful that, Doug would kick off the dust and figure out some stuff and get a hold of me, but I still haven't heard from him. So I was like, wait a minute, why the crap haven't I just picked up Reese's account and played the game? We share an account, so I didn't have to pay for it. So I loaded it up. I plowed through the story, and then I got caught up because that's where my account is. And then I was kind of following Doug's lead, but I found that actually there's a more efficient, easier way to kind of do some things. And although it's not wrong, it just might take a little longer. And get this. They did some cheeky stuff. Now, there is some randomly generated luck that one should or hopes to have. But ultimately, there are 4 characters that need to be leveled up to level 20. One of them being Aloy, which you play with for the most part throughout the whole game. I think most people are finishing the story with her and then switching over. I don't know. That's what I've heard. Only a couple levels of replay need to happen for her. But I actually counted every single go that I had to replay. And basically, you just replay any one of the 4 themed areas that you get to go to. And boy, let me tell you, here, I actually wrote it down so I could bitch to you guys about it. Let me get on my readers here. So after finishing the story and the Apex Hunt missions, it took 4 replays as Aloy through the Sacred Lands. That's where I'm going through, which is the first area we jumped into, the kind of the woodsy, fun, but not too deep, not stormy, not snowy. It's just the standard area, not the desert. So 4 times, right? So then I went to the next lowest person that you get, and I need to go back and verify this. I believe Varl starts at level 6. So I was like, okay, here we go. We got to go to the lowest. So I went through, and it took me 19 times. I had to go through the level 19 times, the same exact level. And like I said, there is a little bit of luck based on some of the characters. And here's what I mean by that. There's mini bosses throughout each section, or you get one mini boss throughout each play. And when you fight the mini boss, a bunch of minions spawn, and sometimes you get XP for killing those guys. Sometimes you don't. I could not figure out a consistent pattern, so I just basically tried to kill as many of them as possible and hope for XP, and then kill the mini boss and move on. But it took me 19 times for Varl, who I believe starts at level 6. Okay. Next, I did Tirsa, because Tirsa was level 8, I believe. So a couple higher, and I figured, sweet. It's going to be less than 19 goes through the levels, right? Wrong. 21. So Tirsa, who starts off at a higher level, actually took me 2 more times through the levels to get 2 less levels. That doesn't make any sense. It's completely backwards mathematically. And again, I thought the only thing I could think of is that the luck with those mini bosses was better with Varl than it was with Tirsa. But here's the thing about Tirsa too. She has bombs. Bombs. Those bombs actually hit the sweet spots of the enemies way more often than Varl's spear or whatever, right? So I feel like Tirsa was getting more XP all the way. I 13th, 14th time, I was like, ooh, this is almost over. I'm going to be, but I was looking at my meter going, I'm not gaining any levels. What the crap is happening? So then I went and I did Erend as the final one, right? And Erend starts at level 11. So you'd think, okay, 11, that's 5 levels more to start with than we had with Varl. But it actually took me 16 times to get through. And it actually took me, I timed it. On average, I was just doing lap times on a stopwatch. Took me about 6 minutes or less, 5 to 6 minutes to do each one of those run-throughs. So, you do the math on this. So much wasted time replaying for nothing. When I say the game is worth $20, I'm not trying to be a hater or mean, but the game itself takes you about 7 hours to beat. Especially if you're skipping the cutscenes. It's 6 hours, 7 hours. It's so, and then you get to replay. You get to replay. But there are some things tied to trophies outside of that. So there are the community jobs. There's a whole bunch of them. They all yield different bricks. They all have different tasks. We've got 10 that are pretty simple that we think will happen pretty organically. And there's a couple other ones that we throw in. You need 20 of them. Now, by the time you finish the story, you will likely have 3, 4, 5, or 6, depending on how much you paid attention to the board. You might even have more. There's one for throwing bombs and killing bad guys with bombs. There's one for electricity. Some of them require certain unlocks too. You have to have so many gold bricks. So there's kind of an order that they go in. So I'm trying to work that out now. Now that I know the list, I just need to figure out by loading mine and figuring out when they unlock and stuff, because most of those aren't unlocked yet for me. So I plan to work on that starting probably Wednesday when I get home from Drex's thing, but more than likely Thursday, if not Wednesday. I don't know if I'll be able to get a video out for that, but I haven't released one in a while. I actually slowly trickled them out, and I still have a couple of Funko Fusion videos that I just keep forgetting. Honestly, that's what it is. I've trickled them so long that I keep forgetting on the days that I don't stream to release a video to fill up that dead space in between streams. But ultimately, there will be more Lego Horizons. I'm going to finish it up. The Apex missions, there are 16 of them that give you red bricks, which is such an illusion because the red bricks don't give you any extras. They don't do anything for you. They're just literally a different colored reward brick. And so we'll get those in the next 4 videos, and then I will have to work out the community stuff and give some tips and tricks on the grind. And so basically I'm expecting 5-6 more videos for Horizons, and then that will be done. So that's kind of exciting. Now, moving forward, just looking ahead, we've got, after this week, we're shifting part of the schedule, and then the following week, it'll fully be the schedule you're about to see. But essentially, we've got 1 more week of PGA Tour. I plan on finishing the My Career, which you guys voted on. You wanted me to finish it. So I've been slowly making my way through that. And I will do that plus some more because we'll have extra time once I finish that on Monday. And then the following Monday, so not next Monday, but the next Monday, we'll be jumping into the Power Wash DLC for Wallace and Gromit. Now, I've always loved the animation style, but I don't really know a lot about Wallace and Gromit. So it's going to be interesting for me. I'm going to try to watch, there's like a movie that came out recently, I believe on Netflix, or maybe it was out somewhere else and then made it to Netflix. But I'm going to try to check that out just so I maybe notice some familiarities when I play the game. But we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. It's Power Wash. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm hyped for it. And I'm really hyped for the second one that's due out this year too. So if you haven't heard yet, Power Wash 2 is on my Game of the Year list for most expected game anyways. We'll see how good it is when it drops. Tuesday is going to continue to be Firefighting Simulator for at least another week or 2. There are some seriously grindy trophies that we may or may not work out. It may be an individual thing. Bobby will probably bow down and not do them, while Gerg probably already has all the grindy ones done. And then Kirsten and I will probably be the deciding factor of whether the group does it or not. The game is really fun. It's satisfying in a way that Power Wash is to an extent. It adds some other tasks, so it does feel more like a time waster simulator, kind of like Gas Station or whatever. So I enjoy those, the busy ones, the busy work ones that keep you jumping from. As long as it's realistic and possible, I'm all for it. If it's unrealistic or dumb, I don't. But I've been enjoying it. So we do have 1 more week this week. For this Wednesday, actually, will be the final episode of Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. I have 1 more task to do. It's actually a double whammy. I have to survive for 7 days, but there's also a trophy for surviving for 5 days. So once I get to 7, I will have survived for 5, and I will get the last 2 trophies that will ring off that glorious platinum. Now, the kicker here is that I only have 2 hours to make that happen. The guide that I'm going to be following suggests that it takes 90 minutes, so maybe a little room for error. Maybe that was a generous 90 minutes and it'll only take me 60. I don't know. Regardless, we're going to give it a shot. And if I do not succeed in that 2-hour window because I have to leave for Drex's appointment, then I will likely just finish that off stream and post a video of my celebratory platinum if and when it happens. Because I don't see that becoming the next Resident Evil 3, right? Like Bobby still holds that over my head for not finishing that one out. All right, then once I finish that, the following week will be Atomfall, which is a new game released by Rebellion Games. If you're not familiar with Rebellion Games, they make the Sniper Elite series. They also make the Zombie Army, which is basically an extension of the Sniper Elite series. Originally was a DLC for it, and then eventually became its own standalone game. We've played the series a lot over the years. Joey and Tude and Gray and I all had a blast playing that. In fact, one of those videos, one of the live streams we did was, I think, one of the most viewed streams we ever have had on the channel. Now, there was also another game. I'm trying to remember. It was like an Uncharted type of game in a way, but also kind of like I don't want to say it was like a Tomb Raider, but it kind of was. What was it called? Strange Brigade. Strange Brigade. That was also a Rebellion, and I had fun with that. So I'm hopeful that Atomfall will be fun. It is a survival crafting game, so there is a chance that I will literally implode in front of your eyes and never cease to exist after it, because I hate survival games. They're too tedious. I like staying busy, but I don't like it when I'm constantly trying to find food, but also having to find this and having to find that and having to do this and having to go there and fetch this and come right back for that. Like, some of them actually can be fun. but some of them are just maddening. So I'm hopeful that it'll be good. Thursday is going to continue to be a work day for me. I'm going to try to actually get some of the project stuff done so that I can work on some new projects that I'm about to talk about here in a second. And then, Friday is going to continue to be a battle royale day. I've got Apex and Fortnite shown on there. But with some other games, doing some stuff. I mean, Call of Duty is about to drop some stuff that if y'all have seen any previews, you say, Brian hates games. He hates playing dress up, but he's probably going to buy those. And you're not wrong. And I'll share more of that when it gets closer. But there's also, a new Battlefield in the works too. And I'm hopeful that they will drop a BR type of mode so that we can have some variety. Fortnite just hasn't been anything that's been calling my name lately. None of the seasonal stuff has been appealing to me. But at some point we might jump back in. We talked about having like a Tude and his boy and me and Reese day where we had like a father-son. I guess Nam could sub in for Reese as well. Anyways, and then Saturday is always family day. We usually hang out, do laundry, and do stuff so that I could be prepared for Sunday's start off day, which is, it's shown at the end here, but it's always considered like the beginning of my week. So hopefully you guys will find a day or two that you will enjoy. But Lego Lord of the Rings seems to be the favorite day so far right now. But I don't know. Wallace and Gromit might be a fun one. And, Atom Fall might be a good one to look at too. It's actually currently free on Game Pass, which is why I decided to go with that one over a few others. I had it kind of narrowed down. I was either going to go Astrobot. Spider-Man 2 was also a possibility. Atom Fall was a possibility. I was kind of looking at, I wasn't really trying to consider, but I was peeking around and asking questions about God of War Ragnarok. Was also asking a lot of questions about Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection. I was looking at platinum times and expectancies and puzzles and I just don't want to get caught playing a game everybody loves, not able to solve a puzzle that everyone knows how to solve. You know what I mean? Like, that's my biggest fear with those games at this point. And we laughed about the fact that, Astrobot would likely be a free game at some point, so I should probably just wait till it does, because I'm tired of buying all these new games when they come out, even though that one's not new anymore. It's still new price. And then 2 days after I buy it, it gets announced that it's free, or 6 months later, whatever, it'll become free. And that's kind of the price you pay for staying current, because the deal games are usually not the brand new ones. All of that being said, if you guys have a game that you'd like to see me play, generally Mondays are simulator days, so I'm open for a lot of different simulator type scenarios. Try to stay away from like the police ones, just because that could lead to some pretty disruptive content or potential conversations in the chat. So I try to stay away from that. But most of the other simulators I'm open for. There are some other ones that you see that you're gonna not see on the channel. But anyways, if you got some suggestions for that, co-op days are Tuesdays. So if you got a game that's co-op, new or old, you'd like to see, feel free to recommend it. We're always looking for recommendations. Doesn't always mean we'll play the games you suggest, but there's always a possibility. Wednesdays is my action kind of adventure day. It's kind of my anything day, really, because everything else kind of has a theme. So it's kind of like anything big and fun. I like to do kind of like the blockbuster AAA type scenarios, like Deadpool was there for a while. Alan Wake Wednesdays was there for a while. We did Watch Dogs on Wednesdays as well. A lot of it has to do with the W, working out with Watch Dog Wednesdays or Alan Wake Wednesdays. But, it's also fills in with the whole AAA stuff. So I also wanted to give a big shout out and warm welcome to two people that are currently going through guide writing training right now. I don't have any graphics or anything fancy for this, but I did want to at least acknowledge that Adam B., who I do believe is still out in the chat, has, I see you, John Bondi. I see you, bro. Who has recently been working on a Lego Indy 2 guide. Now, a lot of people have asked me if I'm ever going to do it, and truth be told, the guide had already been started, not only in written form, but in video form. We're coming up on almost a 1-year anniversary of the first hub area being uploaded to the YouTube channel. The only person that I believe that has seen it. I think Kirsten might have seen the surprise video, which you guys will get at some point. And I think Adam is the only person that's actually seen anything else on the videos or anything. So I could be wrong. There might be one other person out there. But the reason why the guide wasn't finished was because other games got announced and came out. So Funko came out, Horizons came out. So Doug wasn't able to finish that guide in time. And so unfortunately, Doug has been disappeared for a minute, and so Adam took it upon himself to start writing it. So I was like, whoa, slow down, I don't want you to spend a bunch of time, and if it doesn't relate to me. So we actually met up, and I was grateful that he took the time to do that, not only to make the guide, but to meet up with me and sort of cater it to my consistency or my formula that I like to have. And so he's been working really hard on that, and I appreciate that. He's working way faster than I expected. I mean, it's a fairly short game, especially in the hub form, but organizing and getting everything lined up for me is great, and I appreciate that. And so the goal is to hopefully get through Horizon real soon, and if Funko doesn't provide an update and we don't get a Lego party or another Lego announcement for a new Lego game, I will likely start to work on that series again. And once I get to a point where I've got a bunch of it done, I'll start releasing it all. My biggest fear is that I won't get it done in one go, and then it'll be incomplete. And right now I've got a couple of games that are incomplete. So I'm feeling very worried about more incompletions. And you settle down, Nam. I know you're working on some sort of stupid, witty comment for that one. But yeah, so that is most of what I got, except for I also want to recognize and give a shout out to Energy Ninja, who I don't know that I've seen today in the chat, but we see him on most days, whether it's in the Discord or over here on the streams. But he has actually met with me as well and has been working on a written guide for the newly released trophy list for the PlayStation portable version of Lego Star Wars 2, which is now available on PlayStation Ultimate Pass, whatever they call it. And likely will be something I do videos on down the road. So he's actually documenting the mini kits, the true Jedis, which apparently there's 2 for each one. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense to me yet because I haven't seen it or played it. But I've been getting daily updates from both Adam and Energy, and they're both working really hard, plowing through and doing a great job too. So, I'm confident that in the future, if and when we have another guide writer need, I'll have a couple of people to call on, assuming they enjoy the process. Because that's one of the things too, like, you can enjoy gaming or you can enjoy using guides, but you don't necessarily always enjoy playing and writing one. So it's kind of an acquired taste, and hopefully it'll all work out. I'm excited, and it seems like they are too. So we'll see how it all works out. But those guides should hit our website here in the next few weeks. Probably looking at the Star Wars one first, because I don't want to get the cart before the horse on the Indy one. Now, Adam will likely be done around the same time, if not before, with Indy 2, because it's coming down to the final stuffs. And the other Lego Star Wars 2 game is pretty short, and I know that this morning, was it this morning? I think it was today. I got an update from Energy saying he had already finished up the story and was working on free play and has all the stuff documented. And let's see here. Yep, says I'm about a third of the way through the guide right now, starting free play now, and that was earlier today. So, like I said, lots of progress being made behind the scenes, and again, I'm grateful for both of them doing that. All right, last but not least, we've got one last thing to talk about, and that is, of course, our Patreon supporters. For a long time, we've had a bunch of supporters that support us at the $5 and up tier, which get a verbal, a visual shout out. I often shout out some of their names anyways, especially like Legos, But anyways, these guys right here have done a tremendous amount of HTG support. I could not thank them any more than I already have. Appreciate the continuous support and help throughout. So some of those people are actually also $10 and up supporters, and they will get a verbal shout out here in a hot second. Let me go ahead and wet my whistle. Although we haven't seen him in a minute, he's still making an impact on the channel and how it performs. Because our first $10 and up supporter is Dougie Fresh 613, which I'm just now realizing it looks like Dougie's not on the $5 list. Somehow I must have messed that up when I updated it last. Maybe I used the wrong one. Anyways, we'll have to get him on there. Big shout out to Dougie though. Much love. Hopefully you're doing well, man. And for those of you who don't really know, the big secret was announced a while ago, and I haven't talked about it much, but Doug is actually getting ready to have another baby. Not him personally, him and his wife. So they already have his wife actually had a daughter from a previous relationship, but Doug has been involved and around throughout the majority of that. So he's got a second one on the way, and it's actually like getting really close to where I believe the due date is. So hopefully he's good. Hopefully we'll get a picture or something of him soon, and like, I'm all right, I'm still alive, or something of that nature, which I know he is. I would have been contacted by his sister or potentially his ma if something had gone wrong. And I haven't bothered to reach out to either of them because I don't want to be the stalker that I seem like I am sometimes. So I see Daniel showed up. What up, dude? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, let's see here. Currently on sale for $10. Astroneer. I think you talked about that. I think we looked that up once before. I could probably check that out. I'm sure I'd rage out because I believe there's some survival or crafting in it, right? Is it casual like me? All right. Next up at the $10 and up tier, we got Michael Karsberg. Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate the support. I thought maybe that you would be here today, but no such luck. You must be out partying or having a good time somewhere other than the internet, which is totally fine. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Secret word. Let's just go with next game. Atomfall. They'll just keep it simple. Atomfall. Right? This is a new game that we're going to be playing that looks really awesome, and I'm really excited for. Next up on the $10 and up list. Yes, it's funny. Atomfall, British Fallout. Yes, I have heard that as well. I've also seen big accounts say that, and like half the comment base tear that up and be like, nope. But I've seen half the fan base be like, oh yeah, totally. Next up on the $10 and up, April White. Thank you so much, April, for your support. Much love. I hope you're doing well, and hopefully you're out there lurking right now. Regardless, hopefully you had a great month, and we'll see you soon. Maybe. It's always a pleasure. Next up, last but not least, at the $10 and up, we got Bonnie Miller. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for your support. Over the years, all those names have contributed a ton and have made some pretty cool things possible. Soon to be a new chair. The chair can only carry for so many years, and it's carried hard. If you guys haven't seen this yet, I'll show you. It's officially become a rocking chair. Like, I don't know how, like, if you can really see how much it moves. It's not supposed to do that, you guys. Like, it does lean back. It has a lean back function, but that's not how it's supposed to lean back. So it's been a rough go. It's actually mildly uncomfortable because it's not at a 45-degree angle, but I am slanted forward, so my legs, like, that's part of the reason why I think my leg just cramped, because I had my foot up in a weird position to kind of tuck it under the chair, and I think it was just too wonka-dude. So I've been looking at different chairs. The thing is, so here's the thing. This chair's been pretty good to me. I like it. I like the color scheme, and the size is perfect. So I'm like at the max of like height and weight for this chair, like right on the edge of it. but it fits in my room so perfectly. Like, and the things could probably be adjusted a little bit, but like there's perfect amount of room for it to slide over and sit off to the side. So like this chair is blocking my walkway to get in and out of bed. It's blocking my walkway to get to my dressers and to some of my storage. And so I'm often every day, especially at night, I have to walk by here. The chair actually slides all the way down to the end, twists 90 degrees and slides in, and it actually gives me a quite a lot of room to get around. And I can't get to all my drawers, but most of them. And then I sometimes have to slide by the chair and slide the chair over here so I can open the other drawers that I could. So the size of it's important. And although they all look the same, they all do vary in size a little bit. Like this, what's that one brand? God, I just had it in my head and I lost it. There's one that's really popular. It's supposed to be one of the more economical, or ergonomical. It's really expensive. I'm trying to think of what the name of the brand is. I want to say they're like $700-800, but they're so big that there's no way it would fit in here. I couldn't get it, to fit in between my setup. So I'm looking at the same one, but I'm I'm having a hard time because this one cost me $350, and it was also put together for me, which was kind of nice. And so $350, but I was back in like 2016, 2017. That was a long time ago. So I mean, it's lasted me a while. Now they're $500. Same chair, same color, $500. Although they did have a special right now for a SpongeBob one, but there's like no connection between me and SpongeBob other than a couple games I've played. So Reese watched it. I didn't grow up with SpongeBob or nothing. So, if you gave me like a Clerks or a Jay and Silent Bob chair, I'd probably buy the crap out of that. I saw today Razer announced a Skibbity toilet headset. Yeah, it's supposed to be an AI unit. I'm sure it's a April Fool's joke. I'm sure of it. However, IGN has their daily deals. They actually have a link to purchase the Skibbity helmet. So either they're piggybacking on Razer's April Fools, or it might be a real thing. It says it's got the first AI brain rot translator. So when someone goes, "What the Sigma?" blah 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 blah, you can go, "Hey, what does that mean?" And the headset will go, "Oh, that means your team needs help and support." Like again, I'm sure it's gotta be, but I mean, you never know. They make some wild stuff out there, but Skibbity is not for me either. Reese probably will buy it because he's a teenager and they like that Skibbity toilet stuff. I've still haven't watched the lore, so I don't know what it is, but anyways. Let's see here. It does have to bear a lot of weight. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, I see what you did there. Rawr, rawr. An autonomous, huh? Don't you mean anonymous? Anonymous? All right. I should probably wrap this up. We're having tacos tonight. Nam, if you want to have free tacos, we got you. We're making like a standard chicken taco, which will have like tomatoes, olives, cabbage, and shredded cabbage. And then we'll be dousing it with this hot honey barbecue sauce. I cannot wait. Although tomorrow's going to be pretty rough, I bet. So you're overseas. Well played, sir. Well played. Those frequent flyer miles are probably going through the roof. All right. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Anybody got any questions or anything? I know Brian D's been gone for a minute. He's been hanging. You got any questions? Anything else that you're out of sync on that you'd like to be synced up on there, Brian D? I am hopeful. I'm going to try to look into getting a passport and see how long. I know that there's like a expedited process. I know it costs money, so I think it's like $280, I think, for a passport, something like that. We'll just call it 300. And I think to get it expedited, it's like an extra 250 or something like that. So if that's the case, I probably won't, but I definitely would be interested, with Boo being like literally right on the Canadian-American border in White Rock, BC. Like it's literally right there. Like I think he could probably throw a rock to Blaine. They're that close. Um, Definitely want to check that out. I don't know. I haven't been up that way in a long time. The last time I was up that far, I was telling Jillian this, and she was like, "Wow, how did you remember?" I said, "Last time I was up that far was 1986." She looked at me and she's like, "What? What were you doing up there in 1986?" And I was like, "Psh, at the World's Fair Expo. What do you think?" And that's where it was. It was up in Vancouver, BC that year. Um, and So my dad and I drove up there in our like 1982 Volkswagen Vanagon camper wagon. You know, had the pop top and the sink and all the fun stuff. And so we drove up there and did the World Fair. Like, you know, one of the coolest things that I've probably ever done. I mean, that's the only time I've ever left the country. I was like 8. I was 8 years old, 8.5-ish, probably getting close to being 9. And you know, and here's one of the things I remember the most. Everywhere we went, there were toy booths. There were all these merchandise booths, right? And you know, at the time, this was 1986. One of the biggest merchandise selling items was, you know, Hasbro had a pretty sweet lineup of Transformers, and the Dinobots had just come out. And I remember like every time we got to a toy store or any place that I had to look because I wanted, and a couple of them had them. And my dad was like, "You kidding me? I ain't paying that." And of course, you know, we were a long ways away. We didn't need to be packing that crap back from Canada. Like we could have bought it here, right? So, by the way, I only ended up getting one of the Dinobots when I got back home. I was pretty pissed, and I wanted them all. I wanted to turn them into the, anyways. 1986, long time ago. Some of you probably weren't even born yet. Some were probably out of country or overseas at that time too. Vanagon was the best. What's up? Is it Michaela? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully I said that right. Maybe not, probably not, but I gave it a shot. All right, last call. Anything else? Anything else? I'm going to be hitting that bye-bye button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for some firefighting simulator with the team, with Kerstron, Gurgus Interruptus, as we've been calling him lately, and, of course, the Bobinator, who I'm surprised he didn't come in here to talk trash about the Blazers. But he knows his team just got a very bad update today too. So not only were they already terrible, they just got worser. And did you hear about Kevin Durant now? Rolled his ankle. He's out for like another 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. So basically preventing them from making the playoffs for sure. Anyways, all right. Is going to be an Osaka Expo, no doubt. Well, hey, let me know if you see any Dinobots, bro. 86, you were 14. All right. So some of you were old and doing things, right? I was a measly 8.5 years old. Oh, Ray's dating herself. Year before I graduated from high school. Yeah, well, Denise is right there with you. Yeah, a couple years apart is all it seems like. 81, you were 6 or 5. 81, what? You're not older than me, Chacho. You're younger than me. Anyways, all right, guys. Hey, I just saw the suck it, Bobby. That's hilarious. I'll be around tomorrow. Hope to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out for the game break. Appreciate all the Patreon support. Appreciate all the YouTube support. And yeah, you guys know how to find me and reach me if you want to hang out. Yeah, you were born in 81. You just said in 1981 I was 5 or 6. I think you meant to say in 86 you were 5 or 6. That would make sense. That new iPad's already busting your balls with the autocorrect, bro. You better teach that thing a lesson. All right, Phantom. Hey, everybody else. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you whenever I see you next. Hopefully it's tomorrow. Oh, no. Do you guys hear the ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding? Somehow I just shocked the thing into submission again. It's like, don't touch me. Maybe no, my fingers don't stink. Yeah. Anyways. All right, guys, head on over to any of our social medias, or if you have not already, please check out happythumbsgaming.com. We got links down below for all those, and htgmerch.com, where you can check out some stickers or some shirts or some hoodies, or if you got some special requests, please let me know. As for me, that's going to do it. As always, until next time, see ya!